Oscar Oyema, the CEO of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Of course, Temple Ashaju, our business correspondent, is live to us from the Stock Exchange to take us through yesterday's trading. Of course, investors were buying up the shares of Dangote Cement, and that gave the market a bit of a very gentle finishing, about 0.5% on the first trading day of the week. That's good news. Temple Ashaju, welcome to the program. Let's through this is some good news to start the week. We hope things hold this way, hold it steady till the rest of the week. That's my wish. What do you wish?
So thank you, Bosun. Let's go the way the CEO of the Nigerian Stock Exchange described this kind of volatility yesterday. He said it's a necessary evil. You win some, you lose some. So just continue to watch the numbers.
Okay. Bring us up to speed very quickly. We're still trying to claw our way back to 30,000 on the composite index. We stopped just short of that yesterday.
Well, I can't say if that is sustainable and whether it is sustainable or not. Let's just go through the market numbers. Yes, you said 29,000 psychological line is where we still are. We up some 134.09 absolute points yesterday, translating to some 0.45%. And that means that the equity capitalization of the market added some 50 billion naira. Now, this development we saw was on the was as a result of the kind of interest that we saw on Dangote Cement yesterday. Some more than 49 million units of Dangote Cement shares were traded yesterday, and the company ended up adding 1.69 kobo, an absolute value, and of course 3% to its share price yesterday, trading now at 180 naira. If that is sustainable, it's something that is left for traders to say. Activity level yesterday, we saw a very weak activity level, low market turnover, 1.08 billion naira in value. If you look at the volume, is 132.4 million units of shares, and all these took place in a reduced hours of trading, and of course in 2,542 deals. We saw market breadth trading at par yesterday, 11 gainers to 11 losers, but it was basically the third consecutive session of gains yesterday in the market. If you go through the sectors of the market, you got the banking segment deeping, you got the consumer goods sectors also down some 0.07%. The industrial goods segment was the only positive one on account of the gains that we saw in the industrial goods segment of the market, and that segment ended up rising some 108 basis points. Insurance segment was down 153 basis points, and of course the oil and gas was down some 0.27%. And this takes us to the energy market, where there was basically not much activities in terms of appreciation in share price or depreciation in share price. The only movements, notable one that we saw was on Forte Oil, and that was down some 3.45% now to 28 naira in share price. Basically, we saw trades across board, but that didn't impact on the prices. The unlisted securities market, you've got the NASD O2C USI flat yesterday, closing at 752.42 points. Market capitalization was 540.57 billion naira, and volume was just 500, valued at 80.5 million naira. And just all that took place in just one deal. If you look at the bond market, we didn't really get the data, but we know that there was bearish sentiment at the bonds market yesterday. You got average yields rising some 7 basis points to 15.32%, as well as the sell pressure that we saw concentrated at the short end of the curve, and of course the mid side of the curve. In terms of the short end of the curve, we saw the yields expanding some 19 basis points as a result of the sell pressure. And of course, at the mid end of the curve, we saw yield expanding by 5 basis points. The yields on the June 2019 and, of course, the January 2026 securities brought about some expansion, contraction rather, because of the kind of demand that we saw. We saw demand as well on the April 2037 security, which represents a kind of contraction of 4 basis points at the long end of the curve. In terms of the treasury bills segment of the market, we got bullish sentiment reported by a lot of the analysts and trading firms, talking about the average yields, which moderated some 6 basis points to 15.25%. And of course, yields contracted at the short end of the curve by 12 basis points, and of course, at the long end by 9 basis points. Bosun.
Okay, Temple Ashaju, one of the stock, well, thank you, but one of the stock we want to keep an eye on, perhaps towards the end of the program, is Diamond Bank and Access Bank. Remember, the corporate wedlock is still there, but a lot on the political side. A few companies got suspended and what have you. We're getting to the NSE season, so we tend to forget that these folks have promised that they will do this corporate wedlock in the first half of the year. So we want to keep that in focus as well. Track that for us a little bit. Let's come back to everyone after the break. Then we'll have what is in inflation data on Thursday. What's in it for consumers market? That's what we're discussing when we return in 2.